if you were an honest host, you'd ask Don if Caicedo is still better than Declan Rice.
No, he's not. There's your answer, bruv. He's not. Free kicks ain't gonna change my opinion on who I think's the better player.
Wait,
know what I mean?
Wait, what do you mean? Wait, you said read the question.
Caicedo's still better. Yeah, Caicedo. Of course, Caicedo's still better. Yeah, Caicedo's still better. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't even read it because this question's just been irritating me, bro. Yeah, Caicedo is better than Declan Rice.
How amazing though of a performance was it from Declan Rice against the greatest ever European side? How great of a performance did you think he gave on Tuesday night, Don?
Bro, I can't lie. Like in that first half, I don't think he was really involved in the game much. I think Partey was their best midfielder. Odegaard was hiding quite a lot. When I was looking at Arsenal, most of their danger was coming from Saka. With some of the crosses he was putting in. Martinelli, to be fair as well, I thought Valverde would do better against him, but he actually struggled against him. And Skelly was the real driving force, kind of running through their midfield, inverting. You know what I mean? Like barging Rodrigo out of the way. I thought Vinny, Rodrigo were poor. I thought Mbappe was the better one. But in the second half is when Rice started to actually sort of turn up. I think after that first free kick, he turned it up, bro. You know, even for the third goal that they scored, he was a part of it. I think he won the ball back. He played it to the left-hand side. It goes into Mainoo, top finish. But listen, that second free kick, I've said it already, bro. For me in the Prem, the only free kick I've seen close to that one, right, or as good as that one, really, when it comes to how perfect it was probably the goal against Palace, Lawless. Remember the goal that Payet scored against Palace? That free kick where it literally just goes over and under, right? That one was free. That was perfect. I was even there for that game as well, Upton Park, yeah. But this free kick,
you're a West Ham fan, man. You're a West Ham fan.
Yeah, I was working. Before we recorded, by the way, Don said like, no, it's okay to, you know, rep for other clubs as long as they're not in the Prem. This guy has spent his.
You got to remember Don. You got to remember you, Don.
That season I was working there, bro.
Don, you went to West Ham's European Trophy Parade.
Of course, bro. Everyone was there, including Gunners, United fans, bro. I'm from East.
No, they weren't.
I'm from East. Bro, there was many people that there that aren't West Ham fans. Yeah, you're bro. Listen, I don't talk like I told you before, Lawless. Me and you were not in the same place, so I don't care what you guys get up to. I support you, man, as my local little club. That's about it.
Right? Hang on a minute. Hang on. What do you mean you're not in the same place? You're the favourites to win that same tournament this year.
Listen. Shut up. Don't let me talk about my heritage in Europe. Yeah, let me talk about my heritage
in the same place as West Ham right now.
But hold up. Wait, you're a massive hypocrite.
I've got him.
You're a hypocrite because you were so far up D's arse in the group chat here about Palace when Palace haven't got any of the heritage that West Ham have got. But you're sitting there going, oh, D's cooking. So what is it now then?
Yeah, but Lawless, you know me. I was stirring the pot, bro, and I got in your head. Of course you're bigger than Palace.
Okay. Stir it both ways, man. Stir it both ways.
See, I got in your head, right? I was going in your head. But anyway, back to Rice. I thought that free kick, bro, was unbelievable, yeah? The accuracy, the power, the tech, you know what I mean? The whip. Man literally got it top bins, Terry. Like, you can't get it any more top bins than that. And what was really impressive is the fact that it was up against Courtois, bro, right? Courtois is like 6'6", I think. And we know how good he is. Because Arsenal could have even scored more. He's 6'7", yeah? They could have even scored more against these guys, but Courtois kept them in the game. And that's been the theme of Madrid over Champions Leagues, bro. Like, there's been many games where Courtois is keeping them in it. Before you know it, they have a moment.
It's only 3-0 because of him.
Yeah, it's only 3-0. It's only 3-0 because of him. But like I said, I thought after that first free kick, Rice stepped it up, bro. I thought he was brilliant. He
was very good, bro. That free kick, by the way, I think Courtois made the mistake of making a small wall. It was only 4 players, and I think he trusted himself.
I'm talking about the second one, Staffy.
Yeah, well, it was a short wall. If you look at it again, it was only 4 players on the wall, and then there was 3 Arsenal players. If I think he trusted himself that if he goes goalkeeper side, he's gonna save it, and I think that's what makes the free kick even better because he still went goal side, and he put it in the one spot that no goalkeeper can get, which is that is the pure definition of top bins. Because I think if it goes like an inch higher or an inch wider, it hits one of the wood, like it hits the woodwork, and maybe you don't score. That's how good that free kick was. And I don't like this whole notion that he did nothing in the game outside of just scoring 2 free kicks. I thought he was amazing. He was all over the place. His engine, listen, I know we cook him all the time for his ball ability. Sometimes he's not the best ball progressor. He's probably not the best dribbler and passer, but he does give a team a lot off the ball. And that's what you need in a team. You don't need a whole midfield of just like flair and ballers who just all they do is pass. No, sometimes you need an engine. You need a player that knows how to crash a box. Don't do that, Terry, because Ugarte couldn't lace his boots. Please give it up. This guy gives him so much off the ball. That header that he got in the first half as well before they scored, and you worked Courtois. He was all over the place. He had a
The thing is,
great
yeah, like, the thing
fixture
is,
against PSV when they qualified the first time, and now he had a great fixture again. He's been amazing for them.
this is the thing, yeah. Like a lot of these gooners, they hear me criticize this guy playing as an 8, and they think I hate him as a player. I don't hate Rice as a player. I think Rice is a very good player.
You do,
For me,
shut up.
and
You
for
cook
me,
him a lot.
Rice is on the verge of becoming world class. He could definitely become world class at Arsenal, right? But where I would play him in my team, if I had a Declan Rice, I'm playing him in a double pivot with someone who's progressive next to him, right? Where Rice is the main focus to break up play, but you're not dependent on this guy to be the guy that's picking up the ball in the first phase, turning with it, progressing with it. I would have him there as the guy to be the engine, bro, breaking up the play, popping it off to the other players that are better on the ball. And then someone in the 8 that I'll have over him is even someone like a Skelly, bro. Because you see Skelly, yeah, if you play Skelly in that left 8, you're going to see, man, getting the ball in a half turn, running at people. He'll be winning you some penalties. He'll be winning you fouls. He might even score more goals in that position. I think he'll create more chances for you lot in that position because he's more of a natural attacking midfielder, and that's what they fail to comprehend when I talk about Rice. They think, because I don't like him as an 8 or I don't overrate him as an 8, it means I hate him. No, that's not what it is. I'm just saying you could get more from this guy if you play him as a 6 in a
I
pivot.
don't think he's a 6. I've always said that.
I hear where you're coming from with that take. On Rice, though, what I would say about his performance is let's just put technical ability to the side, because the technical ability is always a bit of it's very subjective in that regard. What people like, what people don't like, how players look. If you just look at it from and I know as a Chelsea fan, you'll respect this, the clutch element of what he did was just out of this world in terms of how he stepped up, the goals that he put in. And it made me go back actually and watch a lot of David Beckham's free kicks again, because I enjoyed what I saw the other night. But obviously we all sometimes get caught up in the moment in these types of matches. Oh, maybe it's the greatest free kick I've ever seen. And it's up there, right? It's certainly up there. But at the same time, it made me nostalgic, because I remember having a player, and it's been a long time, Beckham left 20 years ago, who was scoring like 2 or 3 like that a season, if that made sense, and putting that amount of swerve on the ball, which was amazing. The bit that upset me was hearing people like Wesley Sneijder try and play it down, who literally, his words were, this is what he said, right? It's very easy to swerve a ball like that if you know how to swerve a ball like that.
Nah, that's so lazy, man. You've even got some gooners begging for validation. Oh, I had Mo the other day. Big up Mo's on his channel talking about, you said he does not to strike a ball, and I'm like, one of the main strengths I've spoken about of this guy is how he whips in those corners. If you actually look at how Rice whips them in when you watch Arsenal Weekly, right, he puts it in a danger zone where it's behind the centre backs, and it's in an area where the keeper can't really get to it. So what happens is Gabriel will run onto it. Because if you see Arsenal, how they set up their corners.
Bro, he won man of the match against us by just whipping corners in.
Exactly.
Remember that game?
Yeah. Arsenal, they have their centre backs. They come from like an outside position, then they run in. So Rice, he'll whip it at the back post like that, and someone could just, you know what I mean, right? So I've never gotten to this guy's whips. And if you look at the free kick, it's very similar. It's very similar technique to the corners. He whipped it in. You know what I mean? That was a whip, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he does for the corners. Very good, bro. Very good goal, man.
Yeah, listen, and absolute top quality and deserves a lot of credit, because, we have praised as English football fans, Didier Drogba's, Steven Gerrard's, Ryan Giggses of this world, Bowen. I know it was a winning goal in a final, so it holds slightly more clout, but we've praised them for their clutch moments, and I think he deserved it. What did you make of his comments, Lawless, as a West Ham fan, when he said after the game it was the greatest moment so far in his footballing career?
Yeah, do you know what? Someone said that, and I didn't know how to take it in another way. Yeah, obviously it's Champions League, quarterfinal, Real Madrid, all of that stuff. So yeah, it's a big deal. And the fact that he played a pivotal moment in the final, he was pretty poor. That we won, he didn't play up to his standards. So I guess he felt like he didn't play a big enough part in us winning that final. So maybe that's where he's looking at. But at the end of the day, if you don't go on to win it, it doesn't really mean anything. It's a great night in your life, but it didn't actually mean anything in the grand scheme of things. So he has to go on to win it.
So Paolo Di Canio's wonder goal against Man United means nothing because you didn't win the Premier League that season.
Well, it means that he scored one of the all-time greatest goals.
Declan Rice scoring back-to-back fantastic free kicks. That means nothing.
Great free kick. It means that he scored great goals. Like he scored great free kicks.
It doesn't mean nothing if he doesn't win the Champions League.
It doesn't mean anything in terms of winning and what you achieve when you compare the fact that one's a trophy, one is a great goal. Like players can score great goals. Payet scored one of the great free kicks against Man United in the FA Cup. We didn't win it because Schweinsteiger scored a goal that should have been ruled out.
But we all still recognize how great that free kick was. I mean, I don't think you can.
But he said this is one of the great. What did he say? One of the greatest nights of. This is the greatest night of my life. Does he mean this is the greatest thing I've done in football in terms of like on the pitch? What
he meant is scoring for Arsenal, winning games for Arsenal, shits over everything he did at West Ham. That's what I think he said.
Well, then there you go. If that's what you're saying, then
he basically said fuck West Ham. He said fuck West Ham is what he said.
He's too much of a PR merchant to say that. He's too PR polished, man. That guy knows what he's saying.
Yeah. We're going to come back to the Champions League a little bit later. Big up to Dad's Our Podcast for asking everybody to hit the like button. Luke Skywalker with the same message to everybody as well. I appreciate that. D here says that's not at all what's being said in the video. They basically set a trap for Mainoo to free up Almo, making Mainoo run around chasing ghosts. For the first goal, Mainoo was shattered, couldn't get back, which is why Walker needed to cover Almo's run into the box, left Nico. So they had a plan to take Mainoo out of the game then, yes. So, yeah, I paraphrase what they said, but you've just stated they had a plan to set traps for Mainoo, to make him exhaust, make him run around more. Of course, he's an 18-year-old, so his experience in games isn't going to be that of the players he was up against. But because we have an inept head coach who couldn't see these traps and couldn't make any in-game adjustments, Mainoo was exhausted. That is what I call a plan to take out a player. For me, that's the definition of a plan for a player. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't blame Mainoo being 18 years old. I blame a coach. I always blame a coach in those circumstances. I kind of get if it was Rodri, if a trap was set for Rodri, and Rodri, for the whole time he's on the pitch, didn't see it or adjust, you'd say you're an experienced player, Ballon d'Or winner, Euros winner, Champions League winner, treble winner, maybe. I wouldn't take it out on an 18-year-old. But for me, D, that's a quintessential plan for a player, personally. So I hear you on that. I would expect the leader in Declan Rice next to him to be seeing it and orchestrating and helping a younger player in that circumstance.
He wasn't helping, man. He was fighting for his life. The tech was too much. He was fighting for his life. That's what he was doing. I remember very well, bruv.
But it's funny seeing Arsenal fans saying reaching the Champions League semi-final is 10 times more than winning the Conference League, as if they've reached the semi-final already, as if this the game's won. This is Real Madrid, my friend.